Hello and welcome to the Dickenson Road Environmental Assessment Study from Upper James Street to Lancaster Road, Public Information Center number 2. Your feedback is important to us. Please review the materials that are on our Engage Hamilton website. You can download the comment form available online on our website and submit it directly to our email at iplanning@hamilton.ca. The city of Hamilton is situated upon the traditional territories of the Erie, Neutral, Huron-Wendat, Haudenosaunee, and Mississaugas. This land is covered by the Dish with One Spoon, One Pump Belt Covenant, which was an agreement between the Haudenosaunee and the Anishinaabe to share and care for the resources around the Great Lakes. We further acknowledge that this land was covered by the Between the Lakes Purchase, 1792, between the Crown and the Mississaugas of the Credit First Nation. Today, the city of Hamilton is home to many indigenous people across the Turtle Island, and we recognize that we must do more to learn about the rich history of this land so that we can better understand our roles as residents, neighbors, partners, and caretakers. The Dickenson Road Municipal Class Environmental Assessment Study is fulfilling the requirements of the Municipal Engineers Association's Municipal Class Environmental Assessment for a Schedule C project, Phases 3 and 4. The purpose of this Public Information Center, or PIC, is to present and obtain comments on the preliminary preferred design concepts developed for the widening and reconstruction of Dickenson Road from Upper James Street to Lancaster Road. We held a Public Information Center number 1 on March 3, 2020, and there are a few key topics heard from that event. These include concerns with natural environment and wildlife impacts, uncertain of when construction of this road will take place, concerned with potential loss of residential property and impacts to property value, and requested considerations for installing water and wastewater servicing prior to roadway construction. The Airport Employment Growth District Transportation Master Plan Update 2024, or the AEGD TMP Update, identifies policies, programs, and infrastructure improvements needed to manage both existing and future transportation demand for the business park. The AEGD TMP update identified Dickenson Road between Upper James Street and Lancaster Road as requiring 1. Additional lane capacity to address future traffic growth, 2. More options for travel including automobiles, transits, and active transportations such as cycling and walking for people to access the employment area, 3. Safe and efficient movement of goods, and 4. Low impact development form of stormwater conveyance. As part of the current Dickenson Road Environmental Assessment Study, the following technical studies have been conducted to inform the evaluation of alternatives so far. These include Natural Heritage Assessment, Cultural Heritage Assessment, Archaeological Assessment Stage 1, Geotechnical Assessment, and Transportation Assessment. The existing transportation condition of Dickenson Road is a designated two-lane rural roadway, meaning one travel lane per direction with no curb and gutter, with a posted speed of 60 kilometers per hour. There are no designated pedestrian or cycling facilities along the corridor. There is also a lack of transit facilities like bus shelters along the corridor. The future transportation condition, the AGD TMP update identified improvements to Dickenson Road that includes widening to a 4-lane urban roadway, such as 2 travel lanes per direction with curb and gutter, and a continuous center left turn lane. We also look at adding pedestrian and cycling facilities along the corridor, accommodating future transit shelter spaces within the boulevard, and new intersection along the corridor for future roadways needed to be constructed to support future employment growth. Dickenson Road West is a designated truck route as per the Truck Route Master Plan update in 2022. The Natural Heritage Inventory identified several components that are natural environmental related. These include significant woodlands, linkage areas, watercourse crossings, and potential wildlife linkages. The existing Cultural Heritage Inventory identify 11 cultural heritage resources within and adjacent to the study area. These include farmscapes, residents, the airport, and a cemetery. Based on the AEGD TMP update, this is the ultimate vision of the road network map for the AEGD area. The recommended AEGD TMP cross-sections were designed to comply with the City of Hamilton's Complete Street Design Guidelines to foster inclusive, safe, and efficient mobility options for all road users. Road cross-sections were also designed according to the AEGD TMP updates cross-sectional cross-sections for a 45-meter arterial roadway and the Eco-Industrial Design Guidelines to ensure sufficient capacity for stormwater conveyance and management. Increase the width of ditches and providing space for potential low-impact development techniques can reduce the velocity and volume of stormwater generated along the roadway corridor, allowing for potential groundwater recharge. As part of the Dickenson Road EA, alternative design concepts were comparatively evaluated based on a set of criteria that represent the broad definition of the environment, as described in the Environmental Assessment, or the EA Act. These include technical, socioeconomic environment, natural environment, cultural heritage, and cost criteria. The design concepts for the corridor were developed to achieve the city's vision for the AEGD while respecting current land uses of the corridor and minimizing property impacts. The following design concepts were evaluated. Alternative 1, do nothing, required as part of the Class EA for comparison purposes. Alternative 2, widened from the existing center line. Widen the right-of-way equally to the north and south. Alternative 3, widen to the north. Limit widening of right-of-way to the south by 5 meters to accommodate previous property acquisition and widen the rest to the north. Alternative 4, widen to the south. Limit widening of right-of-way to the north by 5 meters to accommodate previous property acquisition and widen the rest to the south. This current slide shows the alternative designs for road widening of all 4 alternatives mentioned in the previous slide. Based on the evaluation criteria mentioned in previous slides, the alternative alignment for Dickenson Road for road widening were evaluated. The evaluation results show that alternative number 2, widen from the center line equally to the north and south, is the recommended alternative to be carried forward. As mentioned, the preliminary recommended design for Dickenson Road alignment is alternative 2, widen from the existing center line, with localized adjustments to avoid key impacts. The next set of alternative design concepts are active transportation related. Several active transportation alternatives for the corridor were developed to achieve the city's vision for the AEGD and improve connectivity to the cycling network. The following active transportation facilities were evaluated. Alternative 1, do nothing. Alternative 2, bike lanes and sidewalks on both sides of Dickenson Road. Alternative 3, two-way cycle track on the north side and sidewalk on both sides of Dickenson Road. Alternative 4, multi-use path on the north side and sidewalk on the south side of Dickenson Road. This slide shows the visual representation of the alternatives mentioned in the previous slide. Based on the evaluation criteria mentioned, the alternatives for Dickenson Road for active transportation were evaluated. Based on the evaluation results, Alternative 4, multi-use path on the north side and sidewalk on the south side, is the recommended alternative to be carried forward. How we arrived at the preferred cross-section. Following Public Information Center number 1, held on March 3, 2020, the project team confirmed that Dickenson Road is required to be widened to 5 lanes with a 37-meter right-of-way, in accordance with recommendations from the AEGD TMP approved in 2016. Based on the widened 45-meter right-of-way conceptual cross-section approved through the AEGD TMP Update 2024, a preferred cross-section was developed for Dickenson Road. This cross-section includes 5 lanes, sidewalks, cycle tracks, and provision for surface-based low-impact development, or LID, features. The 45-meter wide right-of-way is not able to accommodate all the preferred cross-section features. Please refer to the roll plan for details. An alternative but similar cross-section was developed similar to the 45-meter wide preferred cross-section, but utilizes narrow open ditches along the provision's 4 subsurface LID features instead. This slide shows the difference between two different preferred cross-section renderings. The top cross-section shows the preferred cross-section with surface low impact development features. The cross-section under that is an alternative preferred cross-section with subsurface low impact development. This cross-section shows a much more narrow ditch to convey storm water. This slide talks about stormwater management and low impact development. The future ditches will be sized to accommodate flows generated from the future road widening of Dickenson Road. Where feasible, LID features within the road right-of-way will be implemented to qualitatively and quantitatively improve stormwater runoff, including drainage ditches and shallow vegetated swales. There are 3 signalized intersections along Dickenson Road that were considered in the development of the preferred design. 2 of the intersections' signalization requirements will be determined through the development applications by others. Please refer to the role plan for the location of these intersections. Implementing the full 45-meter right-of-way would require full buyouts of properties, especially on the north side of Dickenson Road between Glencastle Road and the future Garth Street Extension intersection. However, based on traffic forecast and the anticipation of traffic to divert onto the future Arterial 1N roadway, the city is looking to implement the full 45-meter right-of-way in a phased approach. Prior to implementing the ultimate 5-lane design for the full length of the corridor, an interim 3-lane design, which consists 30 meters of right-of-way, has been developed for the short to medium term west of future Garth Street Extension intersection, until additional traffic capacity, such as traffic lanes, is required. Please refer to the role plan for both the ultimate and interim designs. This slide shows the phased approach to implementation for Dickenson Road. On the map, it shows the different segments along Dickenson Road in 2 colors. The red segment is between Glencastle Road and Garth Street Extension, where the interim 3-lane cross-section will be constructed, requiring 30 meters of right-of-way. The yellow segment is between Garth Street Extension and Upper James Street, where the ultimate 5-lane cross-section will be constructed, requiring 45 meters of right-of-way. Depending on the ownership of the impacted properties along Dickenson Road, the City of Hamilton has the following options to obtain property. For residential properties, there are 2 ways. 1. City acquisition through willing buyer, willing seller, which is the city's preferred option. 2. Expropriation. This is where the city will purchase the property at fair market value determined through property valuation at the time when the property is needed for public use. For developer-owned properties, the required land will be dedicated to the city through redevelopment. The next steps of the Dickenson Road EA study as part of the Phase 3 Municipal Class EA process is to confirm the recommended functional design in consideration of comments received from this public consultation event. We will also complete required studies such as the Stormwater Management Plan and continue to meet with provincial agencies, stakeholders, and Indigenous nations for their feedback. In Phase 4 of the MCEA process, the project team will prepare the Environmental Study Report, or the ESR, and present to Council for approval. This ESR will be posted online for 30 days for public to comment or any appeals to take place based only on Indigenous rights and treaties. In Phase 5 of the MCEA process, the city will look to implement the study within the next 5 to 10 year time frame. Thank you for attending Public Information Center number 2. Please send your filled out comment sheets via mail or email by January 8, 2025. For project updates and to submit any comments and or questions, please visit engage.hamilton.ca/DickinsonRDEA. To review previous project documents and background technical reports, please visit hamilton.ca/DickinsonRDEA. Thank you and have a great day.